Hey everyone, Rizwan Jagani here, and I am in front of my wall after a really long time. If you've been following my YouTube journey and as well as everything that I've been doing on social media, I have a lot going on, so follow me. All the links are below. You can see that I have a lot going on, so I haven't really been in Plano to do a video, but here I am today doing a reflection on sort of my first year of teaching. I did do a recital video that I'll put right here of a Courant by Bach that I performed at the end of your recital I did with my students. And this was the first time I was teaching a studio. I had 4 students that were fantastic in every single respect of theirs. And I learned a lot from them as much as I hope they learned from me. So if you guys are watching, I might embarrass you in this video. Just saying. First and foremost, as a teacher, I feel like I've become a better performer because I'm learning things from my students, things that they're struggling with and how to sort of help them fix them. Because I've been blessed with many different teachers that have taught me different things, I've kind of formulated my own way of how to educate something. However, there were certain things that I had a hard time conveying to them because there were things that I did not really struggle with. If you've struggled with something, then that usually means you're better at teaching it. For example, if it's something that has to do with intonation, tone, musicality. Musicality isn't really taught, that is something that is developed. For me, the thing was tone. I've been known for having a very good, clean sound out of my instrument. And because of that, it was kind of hard to convey that to my students. 3 of which did not really have the strongest tones coming in. They were either very timid, shy, or simply didn't know how to coax the sound out of their instruments. So that was kind of hard for me to convey to them, and that was something that was sort of taking longer to develop over the year. Intonation and technical facility is something that I'm constantly working on, and something that, my next teacher is going to also help me on even more. So I was able to convey that to them. The flip side of the argument is when I'm struggling with something, I always think about what I have told my students. And in that way I've articulated to them, I re-articulate it to myself so I can be like, oh, this is what I need to do, and immediately that issue becomes a non-issue. The second point I want to make is sort of like gelling with different personalities. I tried to figure out what I was as a teacher and also as a person in relationship to my students. How well will they gel to, certain jokes that I make, to get them to play something differently or to have them think of something that'll help them channel the music. That is something that, you give and take, you learn with each student. Also having to deal with whether or not a student wants to put in the effort or doesn't want to put in the effort, and how a student that might be, lazy with certain things, like you have a student that doesn't want to practice, how do you motivate them to practice? Other than showing them what they can do or showing them what practice results in when you play something well for them, yes, you see their eyes widen, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they want to go back and replicate that themselves. So that was something that I was also trying to learn through that, how do I motivate my students in the lesson setting, apart from just showing them what they need to do, seeing if they're doing it and sort of checking along the way what they're doing correctly, what they're doing incorrectly, and how to make those mistakes disappear. The last thing that I feel like I need to address is performance anxiety, stage fright, because we all have it. I might have less of it because most of my career that I've been doing thus far has been solo. When you're in high school, most of what you might be doing is stuff in orchestra class. So you're already in a group setting, you can hide if you make a mistake, and usually it means that you're with your teammates, so you don't have to worry about having the spotlight shine on you and be like, voila, here I am. What I noticed with my students was not a lot of them actually had done solo and ensemble or region or something where it was just them, and them having to make the sound and having to speak for themselves through their music. So by the time we got to the end of your recital, it was maybe their 3rd or 4th time playing in front of an audience. So the best thing I was sort of telling them by the end of it is find every opportunity to perform, whether it's in front of your parents, in front of your family, just to get the nerves going and sort of how to cope with what happens when you get nervous. Because let's be real, you can play in a practice room all day, you can play in front of a mirror all day. Every situation changes as soon as you put an audience there or a judge there. And these were sort of things that I was sort of wondering, in myself, because I've not had stage fright for a long time just because I've been performing when I was really, really young. Even though I've been playing viola for less time, I was always a performer apparently. And with that being said, it's very interesting to see that, I've taught students, I've helped change someone's lives in a profound way. And, I was told by the end of it that they all want to continue. One of my students definitely wants to, you know, improve even more and practice even more, which makes me feel very happy. And I feel like, you know, if they say that to me, that they felt like they've improved, or they felt like, you know, they want to do something more with the instrument, then I've done my job. I definitely hope I get to teach more in the future so I can add more to something like this. Otherwise, you know, I'm going to just sort of be stuck on something, but I want to develop this more. As always, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel, give this video a thumbs up, and follow me on all my social media. I have a lot of musical adventures coming up, and they're not necessarily things I put on YouTube, so definitely check me out on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. I got a little bit of Twitter fame on one of my videos, but if you might want to check that out of what I've been sort of showing on social media. So until next time, bye!